Hey, Kimmy, baby, I had a book over here in this drawer. You seen it?
You mean a little black book? Oh, honey, I cleaned out those drawers in that whole room and made a big donation to Goodwill. But don't worry, we can get you another one.
Oh, hell no. You're never going to believe what happened to me today at the Goodwill. I found a book of seed phrases, honey. I can get those hair transplants now. Oh.
Go best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dogg. My name is Lane, your tour guide tonight. Pardon me, my apologies for being late. The stream was supposed to start at 11, and here I am clocking in at 11:11, and it is now 11:15. My apologies, my ADD getting to me. Got distracted there. Strega, my man, always on the ball. What's good, Strega? What's going on? Let's take a look at this crazy market we got going on. Checking out altcoins for the day. Had a nice little bump up. All that news about Bitcoin ETF turned out to be fake news from what I understand. Little hype, a little manipulation coming in on a Monday. Not surprising at all. Not surprising a bit. Man, that was a nice pump right there, right? Right? We talked about a possibility of that, but I did officially swing with the opinion that I don't think this is going to stick out too much. And I got reason for that, and I think it's still going to play out largely that way. But that was definitely a nice spike. So now we can see what happens, get an idea about the reaction if a real ETF news comes out. Bitcoin going to pump like crazy. I think we confirmed that, right? But it was a great way to entice some retail in so that some bigger players and market makers can just have some fun. And look at that wick, man. Drove that price down to 3% currently, and drove it all the way down another 7%. A big pump and dump in my personal opinion. And now when we start looking at the charts, we got a couple trend lines to watch out for. Currently, the base trend line is still intact. The secondary trend line has failed. So I am looking for this trend line to be tested. That'll bring us back down to about 27,941 in that area, and possibly lower. I need to really look. I'm on a 15-minute time frame here, so this is for more shorter term plays, but checking out a bigger scenario here. Can this chart work for me? I feel like my charts are just too noisy on some of these. So this particular chart that I'm cleaning up right now, all those smaller lines on the smaller time frames just get annoying there. We've been looking at this idea for a long time. Possible head and shoulders. Gosh, I don't know when we started. When was this? Back in August. So we've been following this back in August, waiting to see if this could possibly play out. This is the closest we've been, coming right up here to the targets. 29. Went above it. Went all the way up to 30,000. So coolio. Let's come over here to a daily time frame. Going to slap on some few extra moving averages here to kind of give us some guidance. Did we get rejected at one? Nope. We got this trend line from a moving average, and I believe it might have been on the weekly. I believe that's where the 200 or the 100 was at that time. Since then, it has come down. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's go over this situation again. There are some signs. Well, there's always been the sign of the Ichimoku cloud. I'm always contend that it's going to spit us out on the other side, and we're almost there. We're almost there. Does that mean that we're going to go straight up from here? I'm not seeing those signs yet, man. It's still going to be a struggle. My personal opinion is still going to be a struggle. Will this head and shoulders play out? Well, it's got to come all the way back down to 25,205 in that area. Complete this neckline before it will. So that's a big drop from where we are at 28, right? Drop 3,000s. That would be a nice short. If it does that, we got the possibility to at least come down to 21,000, maybe a little bit lower, measure move for that. But the Ichimoku Cloud suggests there's something else. And my secondary thesis, if you want to call it that, is that we're basically in a range, which I think is more realistic. And that's what I got. They're kind of delineated here, but these two red lines are around 30,500 and right around 25.5. And I've been discussing this possibility for a little while. I mean, we could just be in a range, and it could be one of these Wyckoff deals, and we'll get a spring, and or we dip lower, make a lower low, but then pop back into the range and start going up. That's another scenario to watch out for. What's it going to do? I can't tell you. I can only tell you the probabilities. By the price action and what I see, I do say that this was kind of interesting right here, because we were looking at the weekly candles. This is really interesting. Have a graveyard doji, I believe is what it's called. Bearish candle after, and then all of a sudden things go up. We talked about the possibility of this wicking outside of a trend line. Let's see if we can get a little bit more detail here. Which chart? Not this one. Let's go back to this one. So we got this major trend line we lost, and it's still not actually retested the actual trend line. Is there a chance that it could do that? Ichimoku Cloud says, yeah, it wants to. Moving averages say it's going to be a little bit of a hard thing to stick. So there are some mixed signals here. My moving averages are saying that, it's going to be hard for us to keep our ground. So there may be some more spikes. Definitely could happen. But it may take a little while for it to kind of actually stick. So in the short term, what we want to see is for this level that we cleared at 27,974, somewhere through there, just right under 28,000. If we can hold 28,000, we're good. Just a little bit lower. That would be a good line in the sand if I can get my computer to operate to work with me here and draw that trend line right in there. That one right there. Let's make that guy a different color. So this kind of orangish line, that 200 moving average, we are above the daily 200 moving average, and technically that's bullish. Now we haven't closed a candle there. If we do close this candle, hey man, can't argue with that. 12-hour, we did close a candle above it. Ichimoku Cloud looks like it's got some more room to the upside. We're in a pattern right now below this trend line that we lost. So just looking at the local pattern that we're showing, it's an opening broadening wedge, rising wedge, it's a megaphone. That's the easiest way to do it. And it's bearish because it's going to the upside. These usually eventually break to the downside, but it bounces between these lines until it doesn't. The situations I see here on these bigger time frames, just even here on the 12-hour, our 100 is way below the 200. All the other indicators, all the other lines, the non-moving average, the 21, the 50, they're all below the 200. Now they're trying to gain some ground, but we're not really going to see a significant movement until we get the 50 and the 100 above that 200. That's going to take a little doing, in my personal opinion. Now we can take a look. Let's just stick with the daily here. We got this green dot yesterday. We mentioned that. But we also mentioned that, our other areas weren't looking quite as bullish. But I will contend that money flow is coming in, or depending on what time frame that you're looking at. Curving up here on the weekly with money flow there in the red. 5-day, we're in the green. That's a good sign to me. Striga says, I missed the fake rumor run. I got some of it. It's kind of balanced out for me because I was doing some shorts too. So the shorts, I think some of them got it. Maybe even got liquidated on where I was using my leverage, but then my longs offset it. So it was just a break even for the most part. believe over here, Bit Unix had a long, I think I took profit and got back in. Let's see, where's my entry price? 27,540? Or maybe I held it and just added to it. I didn't take profit. I don't think I had any profits taken up there, did I? What we got here? No. Yeah, it was 28.5 and 28.3 is where I had some sales there, which is pretty much about where we are now. I didn't get anything sold up there at 29, so sucks as it is, but I got lulled into the dullness, I guess. But position is still open, it's still up in profit. This account, jeez, dude. Well, there we are. So the count's up now. We at 138. It's slowly growing. Slowly growing. I think this one started just slightly under $100, so not a huge gain yet, but the goal is to see how far $100 will take us on this. All right. So what I'm looking at is the stochastics are up at the top, so they can get pinned here, but you know, when we start seeing them come down, crazy as it seems, we're in a pullback stage. We pull a Fibonacci for this move, swing high to swing low. We're above the 618. We just exited on the 4 hour outside of a Ichimoku cloud, the red one, and we got got everything that I want to see that we could have a stronger move up. 4 hours saying that it could happen. Now we get a pullback, so do expect us to pull back and probably retest this line about 28,000. That could happen. Check some of the smaller time frames here to see what's going on. The 1 hour we lost the 9, so we're probably getting at least a move back to the 21, maybe to the 50. This is what we gotta. Your normal correction for one of these moves, if it's really bullish and wanting to go up, would be a 21 moving average correction. So price can come down here, maybe a little bit below, maybe even retest this line and still be on a good upward trajectory. If it's a more serious correction, touching the 50 moving average could happen, and we can still go, but you know, it starts getting a little lackluster there. We do have the 100 getting across the 200. Overall, that's great and bullish, but usually when you see that, there may, you know, it may be doing an actual pullback when you see that cross. I'll put it that way. So we had two trend lines. Don't have it on this particular chart. Redraw it again. Now I'm looking for this one to hold. If this one doesn't hold, we are looking for much lower, back to 27, 200, somewhere through there. But hopefully this Y trend line will hold. And maybe a pullback where we are now, about 27.9, just a little under 28,000. This particular, okay, I've got a different line here. Let's pull that little guy up there. I do want, yeah, around 28. I want a different chart. So I really want to see this line hold. So take a look at our indices and see what's going on. And man, I'm telling you, look at that Bitcoin dominance just sped up, went crazy. When the news came out about Bitcoin, this is a sign what to expect. Money went crazy in Bitcoin, right? Everybody sold out their stable coins right over here. Right over here. Yeah. Currently, you could argue that that is a bullish retest. On the dollar, this is US dollar. This is tethered dominance. Wick back and we're staying above this trend line. So technically this could bounce up. I'm questioning that wick to the downside is weakening this trend, but there could be a bounce up. If that happens, well, that's because people are selling out of something. What are they going to sell out of? And maybe the altcoins. It might be the altcoins. But the move's been good for altcoins and Bitcoin. And we do see that the dollar over here the DXY over here, we are losing some ground there. So money is coming out of the dollar. Money's been coming out of stable coins, Tether, mostly going into Bitcoin, and then also going into some altcoins there. So altcoin pumpy pumps. Check out a couple of watch lists here and see what's really taken off during the day. This is our original watch list here, the top movers for the year. CPH. That guy had a nice little day, I guess. 71% gains on that. There was some good moves to catch if you caught them. Stacks had a nice move to the upside. Check our other list here. These are more the newer ones that have been doing very well for the year. Go to the year. All of these are mostly in the red. Oh, Deso fell. Deso had a drop, didn't it? Interesting. Maybe a good time to look into Deso. If I'm not mistaken, that is a Cosmos ecosystem social media type DApp. For the week, Loom is still doing well. CPR is doing good. Rocket Exchange still doing fairly well. And right now, the altcoins that we normally look at, I gotta say, the one that really pumped would be Meta. Meta US. It's Metadium. Well, this guy is up 17% today. It looks like it's flagging out, possible, or, you know, maybe a distribution channel. Could be. Technically, that makes a nice possible flag or range here on the 1 hour on this one. But if this pattern, you know, does play out, there is a possibility to get up to about 5.5, what are we at? 5.7 cents. So there could be another possible move out of Meta. There'll be another 43% move there. But also just the measure move for a channel. Take us up to this area about 4.9 cents, put it that way rather. And that itself would be about a 25% move to the upside on Meta. Let's go to the 4 hour here, take a look at it. She's a little extended right now. She needs a pullback. MACD is trying to do that, but you know, there's some signs that are saying she may have something else on her mind. I think she's getting ready to do something, to be honest with you. I want to keep zooming out just a little bit, get a feel for my moving averages. They give me this thing is looking good. I would seriously suggest maybe looking at this if you're trying to trade. Project wise, I have not done a deep dive on this one that I can remember. I can't recall anything about this, but short term, the charts just say yummy yum. I like what I'm seeing with the charts here. Am I in this? I need to know if I'm in this. That's sad. I don't even know what I'm into sometimes. Do I have Meta? I do not see it. Crap. I missed it. I freaking missed it. It was so beautiful with this falling wedge that we got a breakout of. Let's see, where are you at, Meta? I think I'm on crypto.com or the trading view chart, and it's not showing me volume. I'm really looking for volume. It's not the same dang thing. Now, this is Metadium. And honestly, I think I was trying to follow the one on MEXC with the Meta. It's not there. We need to take a look at this. The chart is looking interesting. Let's take an eyeball at this little guy. What is it? Is it worth looking at? The chart. I like the chart, short term anyway. I have no idea what it is though. Metadium. Metadium. Oh my gosh, blind me, man. What's up with you? Haha, gotcha. So this is overall chart. Had a nice spike up. What was it, about 35 cents? So 10x potential to get up to where it was. Oh gosh, that was March 21. What are we looking at here? 2 billion meta circulating supplies, almost most of it. 1.7 billion. $66 million market cap. Okay. Highest it did was a 10x from that, so I got up to about 660 million. BitThumb, Upbit, SunSwap version 2, Pangeo swaps, several places, but just hasn't caught up much for your centralized exchanges, which would definitely help if it got listed on them. Metadium describes itself as an identity ecosystem built on a public blockchain to realize the vision of self-sovereign identity. Okay, we're an identity category here, huh? Metadium powers identification, authentication, and crypto transaction management, providing AML compliance and risk management. So blah 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 blah. Boring, but useful. Just want to keep an eye on. Maybe one that we'll have to dive in deeper to. Maybe not tonight, but just kind of getting a general sense of it tonight. 110 million users, 100 partners and clients, 250,000 daily transaction, 4 years of operation. High speed. They're all high speed now. Some of the partners here. News and updates. What's going on with you, baby? What are you doing? What's up, Meta? 3 days ago. This is probably something behind the pumps. Let's see. Dear Metadium community, Metadium is dedicated to improving Explorer. To better serve the community by enhancing its features and usability, giving a fresh renewal to the Bunja hard fork. I have to question anybody that would name their hard fork Bunja. All right, new design. This is okay. So they've vamped up their Explorer. Okay, so they got some, I guess, some cool tools to kind of examine and explore. Yay, and that, I guess that's all it needs to pump. Sometimes it doesn't take even much of anything to pump a crypto. All right, one to look into. What's going on here? Nice pump. Will it hold? Will you hold, Meta? Those were measure move possibilities there. It's got some potential to keep moving up, though. I do see that. So definitely a trade there as far as anything else goes. See if we can slam out here to come on now. Maybe 6.8, 6.7 cents maybe is going to be a hiccup there. Short-term trades is what I'm saying. Hey, Marco's in the house. Hey, Haven's in the house. What's up, Haven? And Grimmer. Grimmer says, and welcome to the stream, Grimmer. I don't think I've seen you here before. So we just we just chill out and look at the charts late at night. I'm running a little late. Can we check out, Ori Chain, definitely. And next, I've got plenty of time to do that. I would much rather look at the coins that you guys want to look at than the ones that I'll just pull out of my hat. Because I end up going over the same ones because that's what I'm messing with. But I do have a bag of Nextera. Which was the Alliance blockchain, where they had a exploit not through them but through a pool that they were pooled with, from what I understand, on a DeFi place. Started selling that a little bit. It got compromised. Somebody So they rewarded everybody with these token NXRA. So over on MEXC, KuCoin, Uniswap, it's pretty easy to get a hold of. I'm on a 3-day chart here. Just to roughly go over, we found support at 4.7 cents. Range-wise, well, we got a few levels to work with here. Technically, we're this one's kind of like a halfway mark right here. Let's dash this or dot that little line out there. So I'd like to see us get above this area and keep it if we can. Now fine-tune that a little bit. Not really. We got these bottoms of these candles here, so we really, and the wicks off of here. So if anything, could raise it a little bit. I was looking at the possibility of lowering it, but down to these areas, which that's cool that we're above that. That's a support line we need to keep with it too. But this is our next area to contend with, and that's 6.7 cents, and we're almost there. So that's going to be a little bit of a difficult area to work through, but the signs on these larger time frames are saying we're trying to do that. So I'd like to see some more. See, we got rising price, and so far falling volume. Now we haven't completed this candle yet, though, so not yet confirmed. Let's see what we got on the smaller time frame. Rising price, rising volume. That's beautiful. Daily suggests that this little sliver of green over here on Ichimoku, she's up to something. She is up to something. Now she may get a pullback. If she does, just realize that is normal to come back down and to retest the area that it just flipped out of, man. It just got out of this range. It's had so much trouble getting above 5.5 cents. We've done it now. Very quite possible price will come back there, retest that. If it does, start heading up. Great place to add to your bags. Just saying. Add to your bags too early, though, and it breaks to the downside, you might be a little sad and might get a little sour at me. That's why I'm saying wait till you start seeing it bounce off of there to get in. If you want to do it the traditional, more conservative play. But if you're a degen like me, you may take those risks and maybe used to getting a spanking. So we can look at this mostly in a channel. Interesting on the measure move for this is this would be your more conservative measure move, telling us that we should get up to about 7.5 cents. And then we got a little bit more of an extended measure move right here. Will this play out? No, I'm sure it will eventually. That's at 9.5 cents there. I like that. Let's go with that route. Next year, let's do that. So there are some take profit targets that I have 7.5 cents, 8.5, and it'd be great if we can break up above that and hold that. And 9.5, and also, well, basically about 10.5, 10.4 cents. We're going to come down to the smaller time frame, 4 hours, just check it out. She looks to be coming up and making a little flag there. Lost the 9 moving average on the 4 hours, so do expect some downside. Do expect a little bit of pullback, maybe to 6 cents, or maybe to retest this trend. Retesting this trend line could be a possibility, but we really don't want to see that. We want to see this level we talked about earlier hold, especially if we're above a green cloud. Don't want to go touching the green cloud right now. We want to be as far away from them and let them be thin and let them stay thin and start rising up and just right above them. That's what we want to see on as far as the cloud goes. I like to keep the cloud because it just kind of keeps me a peace of mind. Helps me remember what side of the fence I'm on. The cloud wasn't there, sometimes I forget what side of the fence I'm on, and it lets me know we're getting ready to do something good or not. So other indicators indicating a pullback. I'm expecting the 21 moving average to be touched right here and possibly bounce off of that. Nice little flag, so it could just keep flagging on down just a little bit more there. I would rather see a shorter flag, even if it just wicks down and touches this thing like this candle did here. That's what I would really want to see. We start staying in the channel too long, well, we could start running into some other circumstances, but it does need to cool off a bit. 21 moving average is the first place I would look at. 50 would be the second right here. If it does that, we're retesting this trend line, and it'll take a little bit longer to recover from that. That's 5.4 cents. We get down in that area, we lost support here. We're going to have a struggle. So I really want to see 5.9 cents hold. Let's just move that up here. I need to see this area hold. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And if anybody thought this was all cup and handy for right here, you're disappointed because it turned into a double bottom. I will say this, cup and handles are usually not a bottoming pattern, so I'll throw that out there. A lot of people seem to draw them in the bottoms, and they're actually kind of in the, they're a continuation pattern, is technically what they are. So possible double bottom, which I like that. Now there's a measure move from that. So double bottom means that price will eventually come back up to this area. Right up here. And we can take a little measure move to tell us where we could go. Bring it right back up to the top there. And this says 12. I would love 12 cents out of that. Let's mark you as a measured move. For a double bottom. It's possible. It's not confirmed yet. It's no. We're just kind of guesstimating as a possible place to go there. Once price rises up here and we break above it, we can definitely count on that target to be hit. You can also see this as just a big more like a descending triangle, honestly, which, you know, these guys do have a pretty decent chance to break up to the upside, like a 53% chance to break up to the upside. And it looks like that's what it's going to do. Found support here, not just once, twice, but 3 times, just by the data that I have. So I like Nexera. I do like it. And for where price is now, where we come back down to about 5.9 cents. Look at first target 7.5 cents. That's 28% gains. Next target 8.5, that's 43% gains. 9.5 cents would be 60%, and just getting at the top of this possible channel that we may be ranging in. This may just be a range, people. It may not just shoot up to the upside. We may be ranging out in accumulation for a while. 74%. I do want to take a quick look at the tokenomics on Nexera. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here. Just cover it real quickly, because I do. When Alliance Blockchain ALBT, when that coin got exploited and everybody was selling off and everything, I just put some crazy lowball offers in. It got hit. Then they disappeared off of KuCoin, and then later they were reimbursed with a bunch of Nexera, and so I came out all right. Not a huge bag. I wasn't going crazy on it because it was a lottery play, but that bag's it's been doing pretty well. So we're looking at a lot. 850 million. That's less than $1 billion. Most of your coins start out with 1 billion. It's kind of, I guess that's more of the average now. It's better than 420 trillion. And the total supply is equal to the maximum supply. Market cap is 47. It just went up. Which went down. It was 47.2 billion. Now it just went down to 46.4 million. So apparently somebody just took some major profit. Is that accurate? What's going on here? I can't see anything on the 15-minute. But while we're on the 15-minute, let's start looking at what's going on. Staying above the 200 moving average. That's awesome. The 100 or the 1 hour we're losing some ground here. We're in the middle of Ichimoku cloud, this big green glob here. I mean, we're probably going to come down, so I am looking for that target that we had, and it will be a lower low, but I have to keep tabs on that. 4 hour, I think, is really the one to watch here. It's got the most promise, still reaching that same target on this particular chart. It's 21 moving average. That's what I got for next zero. Let's check out, what was the other one? We're going to check out, gosh darn it, Ori Chain. Now that's okay. So those are two projects that I am in. Ori Chain, I've got staking over there and doing some DeFi. So I think I'm using the KuCoin chart on this one. So here's what we had with Ori Chain. She got down. Let's get this. Are the fibs right? Yeah, the fibs are right. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom way out. Get the big picture. Because all I've got is this little area right here. There's much more to it than that. Boom. And you always want to zoom out because this is where you find all the alpha. If you stay too much on the smaller time frames, you're going to miss the bigger move. So we're in a big channel. I mean, it's very reasonable to expect $8 to come back to the top of this channel. When? I can't tell you. Probably just guesstimating about April, between February and April. Just basing it on my Ichimoku cloud. It's going to slowly get up there and get into the thick part. And that's end of January, February. It's got a little range there. We just have to keep track of it. It's not going to happen tomorrow, I don't think. Although it's wanting to do something now. It does want to go up. Look at this weekly MACD. So at the beginning of October, we got the bullish cross. And also our histogram started going to the upside. That's great. So we should be on an upward run. Clear this up just a little bit. So this is what we're overall in, these two big lines here. And then we have kind of a scallop and then flagged out, coming back. We're just retesting those bottoms, right? Got down to some juicy prices, about $1.50, I think. Now this is technically, I've got it as kind of a wedge shape. That's a little bit more accurate here on the weekly. Come down to the smaller time frame here, to the daily. So we got to break out with some volume, and it's just been making a series of higher highs and higher lows since then. Our major trend line right here was broken, so it's, we got a correction going on right now. Was looking at the possibility of maybe picking some up more, about $2. May not get down there. May not get down there at all. First stop would be about $2.14. Geez, here come the yawns. But losing that, we would definitely come down here and touch the 50 moving average. And, we broke this. We lost this. This is gone. Now, we got to reestablish what we're doing. So it looks like it is respecting that angle. That's interesting to me. I like that. So we may be looking at the waffle pattern going on here. See if we got any angles. Oh, look at that angle. A little angle to the dangle there. So I'm just using parallel lines here to kind of help gauge a few things. I like that it's doing that, and that indicates to me that we may be looking at something like this. It's still continue up, but we just dropped a level and can still continue up. If that makes any sense. That's the possibility I'm looking for. Do you want to notice that we lost the 9 moving average? Haven't lost the 21. It could regain it and keep going on up. Do have the nice green cloud over here that's far away from price. It's just a little thick for my liking. Just coming down to the 4 hours, see what's going on the shorter term time frames here. We don't need this line. Don't really need that line either. Do we? That was just me angle checking there. What I don't want to see is a head and shoulders. Come in and do a head and shoulders like that, and it would take us down to these areas about $1.75. It's possible, it could happen. She's just tired. She needs to do a little pullback. Got to keep an eye on her, but there's some signs that she's still got some gas in the tank, in my personal opinion here. I'm still looking for this target to get hit about $2.56. We're at $2.23, which is not bad for this. Not bad. Personally, I like it. The rewards for staking it are pretty nice. It's got some good DeFi returns over there on ORI DEX, Cosmos ecosystem. I like it. I'm in it. I got 2 bags over there staking and DeFi, and so it is one of my, I don't know, just one of my cool plays. So I'm just going to leave this one in DeFi and wait till we go back up to some higher prices. But ORI chain, I think, was kind of interesting in tokenomics, was it not? Hard to type in the dark here. ORI chain is, what are we looking at? Market cap 28 million. I mean, if you're looking for a new project, low market cap, I mean, in my personal opinion, this is a gem you need to consider. If you're not in it, do some research, see if it fits into, I don't know, your strategy, if it works for you. But in my personal opinion, I think it's a good one. Maximum supply is 19 million. Less than Bitcoin. Less than Bitcoin total supply. Market cap of 28 million, and it's a cool project. And let's go check that out. ORI chain AI times DeFi cook-off. Experience AI-driven innovation. Delve into our dynamic ecosystem of products within DeFi, NFTs, identity, collective intelligence, asset tokenization, smart healthcare, and more. So this being on the Cosmos ecosystem, which is a growing ecosystem, not to mention if you hold it, you get, there's usually always airdrops for new projects. Interacts with the Injective Oasis, Alchemy, Dora Hacks, what's that? Rikisoft? Never heard of those. It's just a cool thing to look at, in my personal opinion. And so I do have the target at 258, but I've also got them 303. I don't plan on even taking profit up here anytime soon. I'm actually looking for more of the pump back up to these other areas around $10, $11. And that's what I'm waiting for, and it will come. Haven's got the little alien. Oh, bless your heart, man. Okay, for you guys that are actually, you know, in the membership, and that helps support the channel, I very much appreciate that. Whatever level that you guys want to go with, I just want to make it valuable for you. So I am always up on the comments of my videos, whatever. I get to see all my comments, and I try to respond to them all, or at least acknowledge that I've read them or something. But any feedback that you guys want to give me for what kind of perks that you would like to see in that, yeah, I want to hear that. I want to make it worth it for you guys. And of course, you guys, if you don't know, we do have a Telegram group that's got the AI bots over there that will do TA and analysis and stuff for you. It's all free for you guys. Lots of resources over in my Telegram group for free, totally for free. Courses, you want to learn how to trade crypto, I've got everything you need to learn over there. No charge. Sugar says, even if I could have caught it, I didn't run. It didn't run up enough for the move. Are we talking about Bitcoin or just another one in general? Striga says, I'm hungry. Striga, you need some tacos, man. Run for the water, baby. I don't know. I thought the Bitcoin pump today was, it was nice on leverage. But I'm not convinced that this move is going to sustain itself. But I'm open to looking for some signs here. We talked about a possibility, I think it was here, about this being a possible trigger wave. Was it the weekly? I think it was the weekly. That looks more like a trigger wave right there. You got your little handle, you got your little trigger, and then you usually get the run up. And I think that's what we were looking at yesterday with that possibility. But will she sustain? That's what I'm still waiting to see that. Moving averages are not convincing me of that. Moving averages suggest that we're still going to range out. Ichimoku Cloud, though, on the daily and the weekly. So I'm back here talking about Bitcoin again. Overall, I am bullish on Bitcoin, and I'm still more than a head and shoulders pattern forming out, because now that's just starting to look too obvious, especially for everybody. I really just see us kind of ranging, and hopefully trying to get and stay above this green cloud. That would be great. We're at the perfect time in the market for that kind of scenario to play out, but we just have to be cautious because we broke this trend line, our major trend line. We lost it, and we could very easily just be retesting it and lose it, come down lower. That's what I don't, well, if it happens, I want to know it ahead of time. I'll put it that way. And with the moving averages here, I mean, the 100 is going to cross over this 200 on the weekly. That's kind of big for downside. And our 9 and our 21 have already crossed over the 200 to the downside. It's not going to recover from that instantly. It's just not. It's going to take it a little while. It's got to work through some stuff. It's got to go through a little bit of therapy over the next month or two. Although we can see some nice moves in these ranges though. And hitting 30,000, I mean, I was impressed with that. Honestly was. So a lot of short squeezes going on there with price action on there, but then we come right back below the 200 on the weekly. So overall, that's not good to close a candle below the 200. So I'm still leaning with what I said. I still think we still got a lot of work here to do with Bitcoin. But should an ETF news come out, oh, that would be a definite good buy time. Sugar says, I'm not going to leverage. Then you are a very smart man, because I would tell you, you can win and it's great, but you can just turn right around and give it all back up with leverage. The only leverage I really would recommend for more people is like spot margin, which is hard to find nowadays. It was available over in KuCoin, and you use low leverage like 5x, but then also just by controlling your risk, you're really just using probably averaging out about 2 to 3x. And it is a great way to build bags of spot margin. But perpetual futures, they usually have higher fees. It's not the place to try to do that kind of strategy that you do with spot margin. It's just not, because those fees and scam wicks and everything else that happen, stop losses don't get hit. It's just it's a crazy mess. It is a total gamble. Yet some people appear to do good, appear to do well. But I've yet to meet anyone who just made their fortune totally in leverage trading. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they are. But it does take a lot more time. You gotta, it magnifies your emotions. It magnifies your mistakes too. So if you don't have the greatest entry, you don't have the greatest results. They're going to liquidate tons of people. They will. And I keep saying this, you do not have to trade leverage to make life-changing money in this. I didn't last time. I've lost a lot on leverage. But the real gains came from doing spot, swing trades, long-term holds, DCA. Those are all your real strategies that are going to do it. The slow game on the 4-year cycle. And so we got about 2 years more left before we switch over to bearish again. If I'm not mistaken, we should reach the top within about 2 years, right? Cash out, rinse and repeat. Although this time I will be shorting to the downside. All right, if you got any requests, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll take a look at the coins there. at the moment. I'm going to go through my little list over here on the side, pull up a few. First, I want to adjust our music soundtrack because we've been playing this track for a while. Get a little R&B action here. Supposedly. I always like to talk about DCR, especially when it's around the $12 mark, because my past experience has always been a good player. It takes a little while. But she had a little bit of a fallback there. Back to $12 area. Little breakout is lackluster. There's no volume there, so our targets to get hit, that's going to be a little while. But an interesting project to look at, and definitely at some of the best prices. Last time it was here, it stayed here and then went up to $250. It just pumped. Really, I mean, there. See my interest? See my interest there? Limited supply, I think it's 21 million. Just like Bitcoin on this one. It's a solid project. Kadena, yeah, you've been a disappointment, man. Doing the same thing, looks a lot like DCR right now. So I see nothing. I'm on a weekly chart here too. It's coming down to a 3-day. Weekly didn't give me any hope, honestly. Just a lot of sideways. I don't think. Can we do total 3? Let's pull up our total 3 market cap. This is altcoins right here. Here's the situation with altcoins that we don't need to forget. We broke the major trend line. This was it. This was the whole run. I mean, this is all altcoins minus Bitcoin. I don't know what those lines are. And we broke the main trend line. Lost it. That's kind of concerning to me because we should be going down in altcoins. 200's coming down like a sinking ship right there. I'm talking about the 200 moving average right there. Our only hope is if something really bullish happens and we break back above that trend line, then that would be just like what we saw Bitcoin breaking up above the trend line. Shoot us up to the upside. But it may not happen. We may get a drop in altcoins, man. So I'm just, we may see, the signs here are saying that you may see a lot lower prices out of altcoins. And in a way that's understandable as Bitcoin, and I've been preaching this for a long time. In this cycle, Bitcoin is going to steal the show. It stole the show last cycle too, but it's going to steal it even more now because everybody wants some. Don't you want some too? That's a Van Halen reference. We got AVAX here at $9.28 again. I got a juicy buy zone here about $7. Now I'm not sure if it's going to make it, but it looks like it may try. It's got a good chance to try. We're having trouble keeping our 9 moving average there. 3-day and even here on the daily. What's going on right here? Is that something to look at? My general rule is as long as if you're above the 9, you're in bullish territory. If you're below the 9, you're embarrassed for short term. Or even on your whole run. I mean, notice this. Notice how well this moving average looks. That once you get below it, you stay below it, and you touch it, you get rejected, and as long as you're below it, you're bearish. As long as you're below it, you're bearish, and as long as you're above it, you're bullish. So it gives you your first indication of when trends are starting to change, and then the 21 comes into play too. And that's the red line, but let's see, Bitcoin Cash, I don't think, not many people are crazy about this one, but an oldie, but I don't know. The big boys like it, so that's why I still pay attention to it. The big boys being PayPal and some of the bigger banks, and there's Grayscale, I think, has a Bitcoin Cash ETF, if I'm not mistaken. QNT is still, it's in my buy zone, but QNT, you need to get your act together. QNT, you've been a disappointment, man. QNT, I think you might be suffering from depression. And I think it may be time to get some help. I mean, I know you wicked down here before, man. You got down in the dumps there, but you snapped out of it pretty quick, and I was like all excited about that and so hopeful. And you did. You pulled it together. You got up to $105, $106. I was so proud of you, QNT. I was like, yes, baby, you're gonna do it. You can do it. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if you relapsed or fell back or just had a bad day. Somebody yelled at you. I don't know, man. But you just started falling. Trying to pick yourself up and then knocked down again. Just one bad day after the other, but I'm telling you, it's not over. I'm sure you are going to be great and wonderful. You're going to attain the heights that you once had before. Just don't let it drag you down, baby. Think positive. Do something good. Just stay positive, QNT. I got faith in you, but you need to get out of the dumps, man. You need to go take a shower. I'm just telling you, man, look, you got Cheetos all over you. And I think that's a bottle of Jack Daniels you're trying to hide behind the pillow, man. Man, just get in touch with yourself. Just dig in. Find yourself, QNT. I know you can do it. I got faith in you, baby. Make us all rich. Rune is suffering. You know, we lost that trend line there on Rune. It is another one of my long-term holds. It's one of my bigger bags, actually. And a very good chance that we'll be pulling back to about 138 somewhere through that area. Possible. Getting sucked right into this green Ichimoku cloud, so some sideways. We had a rising wedge break to the downside, and we could come all the way back down to 114, 111. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. It could happen. The moving averages make me think that we probably won't. Probably come down and retest the 200 moving average, because it's got to do it. We broke above it. We need to come back and touch it again. That's about $1.33. So signs are looking for a pullback on Rune right now anyway. But ultimately, Rune can do some things, baby. Rune can do some nice things. I'm talking like $9 Rune when we're sitting here at $1.58. So another one to put on your radar, Rune, if you're not in it already. Just think about it. Just do your research. Let's come over to the chat. Oh, Haven wants to look at Solana. Solana seems to be overperforming in her opinion. QNT made a lot of people mad. QNT made me mad. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have been into it, but you know, when I first started out in a trading group, that's how I learned how to trade, and is basically going over Investopedia stuff. After forming this channel, I thought, okay, I think in the first 6 months of this channel, I thought, okay, we'll join it back, and you know, and then their trade setup and things like that, you know, and kind of keep us. I would share their trade setups in my Telegram group. QNT was one of their trade setups by the main guy, and so I got into that trade a little bit, and well, it didn't work out. But I did like the project and like what I saw, so I just started working on a bag for it, and rather than getting out, just building a position, and added some more about. I had some around $50. I don't know. QNT it's just been a disappointment, but I think it's got promise, so I'm not going to badmouth it. Let's take a look at Soul for Haven. Solana. She thinks it's overperforming, and it was up quite nice today, right? I guess we'll go with Coinbase. Do I have a chart? I'm sure I've got that over here to the side. There we are. Oh, we're at 23.97. Did you hit my trend line? Oh, no, you didn't. I'm trying to clear out some of these smaller time frame trend lines there. So there is a breakout. That's nice of a flag. That's kind of cool. I still kick myself for just thinking this thing was diseased at $8. Clearly that would have been the greatest time to get in on this thing. There's a measure move taking us up to 26.92 possible. Everything I see here says that it's got a good chance to do it. For whatever reason it's moving up, it is. It's found support at the bottom of this trend line. Over here, didn't quite make it down there. I was disappointed. I was expecting to catch it down here around $16, $17. It didn't make it down there. We had so that makes this about what, a 786 Fibonacci retracement, I believe. Yep. Bounce off for 786, going to the upside. Let's see what Fibonacci says. Fibonacci's saying that $36 could be in order. We were looking at a $30 target anyway for a little while. We have been. But a little data from this swing high to that swing low. I do like the 12.72 Fibonacci. I'm telling you, shit plays out. You need to add it to you. So that brings us at 36 there, which is at the top of this channel. So what I was saying earlier, we bounced off this, went to the top, and this is what happens. And we didn't quite touch it there, but we're starting to move up. So we're headed back to the top of the channel. So whatever's making it move, it's been moving. And VCs are my guess, venture capitalist groups. But it will have a struggle, man. It's going to have a struggle right here at 28. So I got all these little lines here. I've got several targets just right in this area, which I think they're too close to the price for any kind of good profit. This one around 28 is relevant, and that's because of this area right over here. This is a key area right here to get above, especially $30. So that's a resistance area that we got to get above. We got resisted here. So as we move up, we should be going up here at the top of the channel. We'll see a fight go on right here about $30, 28 to 29, $30 there. But she's wanting to try. She's got wants to keep moving up and go back up to $250, man. That'd make me happy, Solana. Marco asks, are we still waiting for GFAL and Joystream further to the downside? Haven says I've changed my... Okay, I missed that conversation, but that's fine. And Marco says, Dog, what do you think about running a trading bot with ChatGPT? From what I've seen, I mean, it seems pretty cool. I have a bot that I don't use. I haven't used it in years, but it's one that I paid for, and I don't have to subscribe to it or anything. It's called Gunbot. Very interesting. I need to check back with them. They may have introduced AI to it by now too. There may be an update. But I like the idea of AI because I remember I had that bot, but I didn't understand technical analysis and I didn't have the knowledge then to run the bot like I do now. So I really been wanting to get back into that. But with AI in it, I like that. I think it would understand what you're trying to get it to do and be easier to program and just be quicker to actually see the possibilities. AI is going to change everything. It is changing everything. But from the reports that I've seen on ChatGPT trading bots, they seem very positive. I think Miles, what's his last name? Is it Drewster? He's over with Crypto Banner. I didn't watch the video, but he was playing around with the ChatGPT trading bot and was going to do a test on it and see what it does. And the last thumbnail I saw said it made $47,000. So I don't know if that's true or the details of it because I haven't watched that. But That's pretty dang cool. So I am for them. And okay, so let's look at gains for a living, GFAL. Jeez, what we got going on here? Let's move this out of the way so we can see. You know, to me, it looks like we found support here. Okay, we're going to lose this parabolic line for a minute because it's too noisy. Clear out some of these trend lines. This is the main one I'm looking for. We were in a channel, took this trend line and just copied it, moved it up there to the top. Just to identify the channel that we were in. We lost it. My only concern is that we're in the middle of a green cloud. Our moving average says we lost, so it's telling me we're coming down to the 100. Currently, that's sitting at 19.8 cents. I'd be looking about 20 cents. Possible. What we could see is a retest of this area where, you know, it broke the trend line. We could see it go up to that same price area, about 2.5 cents, or all the way up to the trend line itself and get rejected. But being right in the middle of the cloud, that's kind of a little, that's not as likely. Turn it over to the moving averages. What they're suggesting is, man, we lost the 9, we lost the 21, the 9's getting ready to cross over the 50. We should be heading down to this one right here and touch that. So looking at that idea, and that seems to coincide with our 618 area. So more than likely we will go to that 618 Fibonacci / 100 moving average area, and we'll just have to correct. Here's the thing I don't like. We're breaking back into this pattern, this rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. What we're risking is let me get the fib off of there real quick. If we do close below here, below this line, we're headed here, 1.6 cents, and possibly below it. That's usually how this works out. Bear trap, slam down, and it may make a bull trap, it may do something, but it's got a good chance of breaking below it, and that gets, you know, under 1.6, 1.5 cents. Not saying it has to, but it's got a strong possibility to do that. I've got a dotted trend line just connecting these two wicks and hoping that will hold with the 100 moving average. Maybe it'll just wick down here and then regain. That would be beautiful. Ichimoku cloud makes me a little concerned, but typically just by going with the Fibonacci outside the patterns and all of that, this would be the area I'd be looking at. 0.0166, and this would, whoops, the 786 and 886 retracement about 1.2 and 1.37 cents. They're definitely on the table if we break back into this pattern. So she's got to cool off, got to correct. The question is, will she bounce here? It could happen. I'm doubting that it will happen, but so far is the price action hasn't confirmed that it's going to happen yet. It's just the moving indicators. The few indicators are telling me that, yeah, we could break through here. And then what else we got? We had Joystream, which I am collecting at the moment, or waiting for it to hit my limit orders anyway. I think this one's got some potential. Now she did the same thing, broke out to the upside, buy zone there, and it didn't hold. So we had, I think we had a trade set up there with the tight stop loss with the possibility of that. Broke to that, did not find support here, broke back into the pattern. Currently it's finding support on the bottom of this trend line. But just like I said, when it does this, it's got a higher probability to break out of this trend too, to break this trend line. Let's hope not. Let's hope that this holds. Hopefully I'm looking for a situation like what I drew right there. As nice as it caught the 50 moving average, that's hopeful. But normally we would see it touch the bottom and maybe come back to the top. Oh, and I don't want to see us for it to, well, if it does, I'm going to buy more cheaper. So yeah, I am kind of for that. So in my opinion, you know, it was looking like it was wanting to go parabolic and then it lost its steam. So usually after that happens, it's kind of down and sideways in accumulations. So we kind of just see us range out before we start doing something else, honestly. So we just have to keep tabs and see if it's going to be like a, you know, something minor where we just kind of play out, or if it's going to be something a little bit more major where we kind of bottom out again. So keep an eye on that. But right now, I do expect us to come down just a little bit. We're fighting to keep our 9-moving average, but let's go to the 4-hour. I will confirm that on the 4-hour. The 100 being over here gives us a little bit of an opportunity to range a little bit. There's some mixed signals here, aren't there? Don't often see the 21 cross the 200 like that. That's interesting to me. So the 21's crossed the 200, and our 9 and 50 are below the 200. The 9 can catch up with the 21 easy. 15's going to take a little while. I think we're just going to range through here, man. I do like that we're in the middle of the cloud and we got the green over here. So I think it's just going to struggle getting above this line. I'm going to leave it just like this. I think we're going to come up and retest this trend line. Just from what I see here on the 4-hour. And that might be good. It'll give it a chance to maybe break back above it. So a little too early to give a solid answer. No, you could also look at it, you know, pattern-wise that we're flagging out. And so there is a measure move. It may have to struggle to do it though, but there is a measure move coming in about 4.5 cents for Joy Stream. If we get volume and get a breakout here, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, actually. Just looking at our indicators, stochastic starting to turn to the upside, but money flow, I got to see money flow start moving up. Money flow is probably the most important indicator on Market Cipher there. So I would say over, well, in the 4-hour, man, this could take a week or 2 weeks to get up to 4.6 cents, or shoot, it could happen tomorrow the way this stuff moves. But it looks like it's going to struggle, in my personal opinion. It's got to kind of work through some issues here after that big run up. It came down here and wicked and then almost candlesticked it, right? And almost came back to retest it. I think that may hold. So watching this flag idea would be the most likely thing that we, what's the word I'm looking for? Local, short-term play, I guess. Most relevant play for right now. Oh man, I thought I was catching up with the chat, but you guys got some more stuff there. Cool, I like that. You can use all your favorite traders like, man, see, this little box gets on my nerves every time I click on that. You can use all your favorite traders like GAN strategies to win trades. Oh, I'm a big proponent of just adding things to your toolbox, man. The things that work for you. It's a buffet. And so on my channel, I'll try to explain my strategies that I use to read the charts. Moving averages the 5 moving averages play a huge part. And then, of course, also the extra 3 that I add there just for a little bit more insight. Yeah, everything. Just always adding to your toolbox. learning something new. There is no official way to do this. And I tell you, the indicators that they have right now, I mean, there's AI in the indicators. So for like pattern tradings, there's a pattern indicator. There's an Elliott wave indicator that will just draw this out for me, so I don't have to sit here and start counting. There's some cool things out there, man. Jessica, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Jessica, if I can get rid of that box, man, why you do that? Last night pump and dump was crazy. I know. She lost $100. I lost a little. I broke even, basically. I told the story earlier, but yeah, the pump went up higher than I was impressed with that, reaching 30,000. I mean, I think we were talking about maybe 29, somewhere through there, as a possible. But I'm still, I don't see it being able to hold its ground right now. And we got not a member in here. Hey, not a member. For you guys that won the Tangem wallets, just keep me updated. Just, let me know when you receive them and everything, so I can. Oh, I want to make sure you guys get all your stuff. And some of you guys live way out there in places, so which I don't think is an issue for them at all. But she did tell me one of you guys they were missing something. So if you're not getting your wallet, let me know so I can stay on top of that. But sorry for your loss, Jessica. But it is part of the game, but you will do better. You'll do it. And that's one reason why, like when I do trades and do accounts like that, in my opinion, I'm thinking back when I was first getting into crypto. I wasn't about to throw my life savings into it. I'm dilly dabbling. I mean, there for years, the most I would put into it was $500 because I'm thinking, well, if $500 doesn't turn into something big, why do I want to put more into it? And this was before I learned how to trade correctly, I guess, and technical analysis, and I was just feeding the market. And I think most people's experience would be the same. But there's a big variation. You see some people doing these huge, crazy trades, and especially huge leverage trades and things like that. And I know it looks cool on YouTube and everything, but for the person trying to come in and learn, I don't think that's a good stance to take. I mean, sure, it may make you look like the man, but there's all kinds of ways to make you look like the man when you're really not. I would say one of the traders that does do leverage trade that I like is Jason Casper. So, and he does some nice trades. So he's got a good system for that. And you really need to do, I mean, it's best to do that in ranges, in my personal opinion. But to make it in crypto, like I was saying earlier, you don't have to use leverage. You don't. I would honestly probably be much further ahead if I hadn't have used a lot of leverage or went a little bit overboard. That's why I'm sticking with the 100. If you can't double a $100 account, then you got to work on some skills here. And I'm slowly putting $100 in here, and what am I up? It changes. It was like 138. So just the last few minutes, I've lost a lot of my profit in there that I didn't take. Darn it. It's twice that's happened to me. I didn't take my profit in time. I'm up 40. I'm just gonna close out. I want that profit, man. We'll find another entry on this little guy. I think he's coming down. But seriously, DCA strategies, a lot of people just, oh gosh, the DCA, get bored and tired of it, but that is a really great strategy in my opinion. All right, guys, the time is 12:33, and I am going to call it a night so we can come back and do this all over again tomorrow night. And hopefully I will not get distracted, but coming in on time, I apologize for that. Thank you so much for being here, and if you can.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
If you can hit that like button, it would definitely help the channel reach more people and the audience grow, and help to educate a bunch of new traders coming into the market. That's what I'm really trying to do. share my knowledge and my past experience, and hopefully help keep you guys from making the same mistakes that I have in the past, and hopefully get you to the point where I am now, where I don't have to worry about the man working for the man anymore. This world is getting crazy, and it's going to keep getting crazier, and the better you can get you and your family set up financially, I think the more easily it will be to navigate some of the crazy times that are still to come in the next 3 or 4 years. And so this is a great time to be in crypto, to build those bags and to change your life, man. Till next time, my name is Lane, your Crypto Road Dog, man, signing off. God bless you all. Don't forget God. He'll help you get there. You need God in your life, baby. Source, the person, the spirit that made you, that gives you life. You have to appreciate God, because God is everywhere and God is love. Good night, everybody.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make you look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Show you like my vibe, that's my candy on my wrist. Bad habits, little rabbit. Now sit down, you can have it.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Stringer.
See it when you walk
Good night, John Boy.
by.